It's the 26th of April 2025. This is Patricia Benedict. There might be a few parts of today's interview. I'm here for today, ma'am.
Shendor, Menvarayzz.
Yeah, we've done some interviews before. Why did you contact me?
Yeah, because I have my court case regarding my children custody the 30th of April, Wednesday. That's coming, Holton, District E, with Magistrate Wayne Clark.
What would you like to happen, and what do you think of all the things that you've seen Sheriff Veronica posting about, the negative things that Sheriff Veronica posting about the child care board and the homes and stuff? Are you worried about that because the environment?
Yes, I'm very worried because seems to be, well, Sheriff say allegation because she have to say allegedly because they can sue her what's not.
Yeah.
But I have been hearing people saying that for years this stuff happening. I heard a woman say her daughter died, or I think her daughter is mentally not there, so she dealt with her grandchildren. So she was in the state, and her children had issue being in child care back and forth, and she said that a police touched her inappropriately, and she was in the state, and she jumped on the first flight to her daughter. Things are happening there, and there's a police that get locked up for molesting or raping a child care board wild.
Allegedly,
that was in the paper, not allegedly.
But you told me about your own stories that your son have witnessed, and
there's two things. One thing you witnessed, and the other thing I have heard the aunties talk about.
Okay, what's the first one that your son?
So there's this child, and I saw this child picked up my son right in front of my face, and I told him I gave my son snacks, and the child snatched the snack and dumped it on the ground. I said, don't do that no more. And the aunties like, but the house parent didn't really react so much, but me, I was upset somewhat. But he said this child took a knife, a foot, and first thing he threw water on one of the aunties' house, cars, inside on whatever, and he took a knife and threatened the auntie with the knife, and then he took the same knife, like nothing is going on, trying to cut a coconut, open a coconut.
Because you said you saw the police and you was wondering why the police were there, and that's when the son told you what happened.
That day, I see two police with bulletproof
vests.
And I find out weird. And they were questioning one of the aunties, and they took her in the police car in the police station. So I was like, why they took her to the police station? Why not just asking her what she have to ask her? I said, something happened. Something happened.
So you're concerned, you want your kids back on?
Yeah, because the auntie told me that my son is get picked at all the time, and he's not really standing for, because he's non-confrontational, not that he's stupid and stuff like that, but he like to avoid, because if he gets into a fight, maybe it's he that they're gonna say he's in fault. So she says they pick at him all the time. And
so if they're picking at him, what are they doing?
There's too much. Should be in a safe environment. When he was at home, nobody was picking at him. And I told my son, go get his book, because when I go visit him, I make him do work, home school. And the auntie say, you're not going there. As long as this boy is there, you're not going. Wait till they pass, because she don't want the confrontation. That was the house parent. I can't remember if it was a house parent and her aunts, because I don't know them, so many of them. They work in shift, I never know who's who, hardly. And my son couldn't go there because the boys were there, and those boys, and some of them fight and pick at my son. So so my son couldn't even go and get a book. Wow.
So let me ask you a question. Has he been to school?
Never. He never been to school.
Since they were in what, have the child care board ever told you? They've been there like 3 months, right?
They have 6 months since 13th of November.
So what did they go to?
Miss Arlene told me that was the day they took my children at the doctor after we came out the court. And I kept asking her over and over when I go and get back my children, because obviously I'm in state of shock. You take my children, you don't even know I'm on a maintenance case, and turn into custody. Because Magistrate Wayne Clark say, I want on social media. What parent in the white man will keep them or shot when they snatch literally?
Also, he's punishing you for that because you went on social media?
When I went back last time I went to court, he tell my lawyer, this is a different lawyer I have now. I don't like what your client do. She on social media. But you took my children.
Yeah, because that's what they want the Bajans to do, and that's why I will never be like you, I will never be silent.
It's no way you take my children from magistrate court on a maintenance case, and then I turn into custody, just snatch my children, put my children in childcare, but I don't know what's going on. I'm in shock. My children is shocked. Tell me don't speak on social media. I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut.
I want to ask you a question. Since they've been there 6 months,
Never go in school.
they never went to school.
Miss Allen told me, we go and assess your children, and after whatever the assessment finish, we'll return you to the children, so that when I go back to court the 4th of December, the magistrate will decide if the children stay in the childcare board or go to the child father, or go to what, I don't know, the man don't work. So I don't know if they're planning to give him to the father. I'm supposed to pay the father child support, and they will put the father on welfare since he don't work. I don't know. So, and then I kept asking her when I go and get my children, because I'm in a state of shock. You all snatch my children without I even
Call it
know.
kidnap.
So she keeps saying abduction, precisely that is. She keeps saying, oh, and she have a headband. I remember everything. I have a memory of an elephant. I have the same memory of an elephant. She said, we go and assess your children and then give you back your children. And then after she said, I kept asking her, when I see these 3 weeks pass, my children I'm not being assessed. When I go and get my children, oh, it's the magistrate that decide. She said it in a matter of fact.
She said your children?
After I kept asking,
The magistrate?
when I asked her again, when am I going to get my children? Oh, it's the magistrate that decide.
The magistrate.
She said first, she won't give me back my children.
But she said the magistrate. So we let the Prime Minister, the AG, the Commissioner, and the Registrar knows if it's a magistrate decision. And you have
He
a
has
few...
no authority actually.
He has
to
no
snatch.
authority, exactly. So we have a few letters we're going to read. But what I want to ask you on the camera, the kids have been there 6 months.
Never been
Have
in
they been? Have the childcare board in their care? The what's it called? Childcare board. What's the home? The children's home.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.